Welcome to the screening. Today's screening will be Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the screening. I am your humble and eloquent host, Cooper Cobbs. Joining me today are two of our panelists, Matthew Killingsworth.
Howdy.
And Tanner Lewis.
Hello. Now let's stop with all of this formality stuff, and we need to get right down to the point right now because Cooper has just dropped a bomb
2 seconds
on us.
2 seconds before I hit record, I said this is the best Star Wars movie besides Empire Strikes Back. Matthew and Tanner both let out a scream, which I cannot hope to copy, and then I said hit record, and then we hit record. So here we are.
Explain immediately.
It's pretty accurate.
You need to explain immediately. This is
okay.
unacceptable.
First off,
you know what?
Let's do a little bit of organization before this. All right, everybody, opening thoughts about the movie. Actually, no, that's basic. Screw the opening thoughts.
Matthew. Look, I have on my notes opening thoughts, what you thought on your first watch, and then why I think it's the best non-Empire Strikes Back movie. Okay. I have a list. Don't worry, I got it. All right, so go ahead. Opening, Tanner, did you get a chance to rewatch this?
I have not. I'm going straight off of me and this beautiful website, which has a synopsis.
Great. Matthew, you get a chance to rewatch this?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so Matthew, this time around, what were your thoughts?
It's...
He's trying to think of a way to criticize it without actually liking it.
No. Okay, look, it's not terrible. It's just not necessary.
Yeah.
And a lot of the characters are kind of stupid.
Is that all you have?
Okay, look. Well, okay, for one, do you want me to tell what I thought about, like, the first time I watched it?
Yeah, we'll do that next, after everybody's opening thoughts.
Okay, so, but, no, that's, seriously, like, I'd already thought these things, and I was just, like, refreshed of the thoughts.
Right.
And I was just like, so they have,
right,
like, a Jedi guy.
Go ahead and combine
they
them.
want to make him, okay, they want to make him a Jedi, right? But he doesn't have a lightsaber, and he doesn't use the Force the whole movie until one point, and then he dies after he has the Force. It's just dumb. Like, if you have the Force, you shouldn't die like that. And also, just like, okay, so the first time I watched it, I thought it was kind of cool because it showed, you know, how they got the plans. And I do like this. I'll say this. I like how it leads right up to A New Hope and ends seconds before A New Hope begins. And that's pretty cool. And it shows, like, everything that came into getting the Death Star plans. But I feel like it also opens more loopholes just about stuff like, if all they had to do was transmit the plans the whole time, like, it would have been a lot easier. I don't know.
I see.
It's like they're all about getting the plans, and then once they get them, they're like, oh wait, we can't actually get off the planet. All we have to do is transmit it, and they transmit it. I'm like, you could have done that for the last, like, 30 years.
They made a big deal about it, though. They were like, oh, the size of the file. We have to use this giant thing to take down the shield. Like, it's. I guess you're right. That's what you're talking about, but they tried to fix it. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I know. But then, so that was kind of a loophole. And then there was also, it was just a little bit over dramatized in a lot of places, including when they get to, when they're on the, what's that desert planet called? I just blanked out. It's not Jakku. Jeddah, yeah, that's right. Oh, it's the moon. Jeddah the moon. And, you know, so they're looking around in the city trying to figure out where the kyber crystals are, and then they just so happen to find out the kyber crystals are not there. And then right after they leave and go to another place on the planet, the city that they were just at like 2 minutes ago explodes because of the Death Star, and they see it exploding, and instead of like on all the other movies when a Death Star or Starkiller Base zaps a planet and it explodes like instantly, this one's like slow motion, just remember, like Matthew, slowly the ground rising up.
They toned down the power. They weren't trying to destroy the planet. So
I know, but they were destroying the city. But no, the whole ground just like
right, Matthew. It was the shockwave, though. It was the shockwave from the thing. Don't worry, it's totally natural. I think that was actually a really cool shot. I think that was a really cool idea.
Well, I'm just saying it's a little bit over dramatic with them, and then they just fly out right in time, you know.
But that's like Star Wars every time, though. Like, especially with
Yeah,
you're
like
like
right.
the Empire Strikes Back, which we all agree is the best Star Wars movie. When they fly out of the alien's
Yes.
mouth, like it's seconds.
Yeah,
So-
you're right.
Yeah, I'll agree. I'll let that one fly with Cooper. Sadly, I'm gonna have to let that one go. But I do believe that the biggest thing that they did that hurt me the most is that they tied their hands behind their backs when they decided that they wanted to kill everyone. They couldn't send them down into hiding because of
they
like
tied
this
their
big
hands when they
things.
started to make this movie because they knew everybody had to die.
Right.
Otherwise,
because
you'd be
none
like,
of those
"Where are
people
these
were in
people?"
the other movies. Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. They had to do that.
I mean, they didn't. I guess my thing is they didn't even need to bring them all the way. Like, not even all of them had to die. It just had to be a few of them, and then they had to find up some great excuse for them to go into hiding, and then they could have done something
well,
with
that
that.
wouldn't. No, that wouldn't have been as good.
Exactly,
Yeah. You know,
and
I
even them
think
dying is even like an exaggeration. I mean,
But
let's be 100% honest. Everything in this movie feels like a stretch.
right, that's what I'm saying is a little bit annoying. The movie's honestly, it's not bad. It's entertaining, right? And the story is not bad.
Right.
I mean,
story's great.
I'm gonna give it that. It's actually like her dad was a guy who didn't want to have to work for the Empire, but he had to because if not, he was gonna die. And like I don't know, that whole plot is pretty good.
I mean,
And I definitely remember liking seeing the Death Trooper helmets. That was cool.
Oh, I
also
wanted that Lego set for like forever.
yeah, same. And those Lego helmets. Oh my gosh, those
I
are
had one
sharp.
of those. So good.
Anyways, and then I also liked the tie-in from the Clone Wars. You caught that right, Cooper? With the guy with the like breathing mask thing. He was in the
Saw
Clone
Gerrera,
Wars.
right? Saw Gerrera.
Yeah.
He's a big outside the saga kind of character. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, he was like an Ahsoka kind of character, kind of.
Well, he's kind
Except
of like
he actually made it in a movie.
he's really like he's like a terrorist. That's one of the reasons that I like this movie was because it kind of shows that the rebel did some bad things too. The Lions did.
Yes.
Right? And
The
it kind of
Alliance,
it
yeah.
feels like a kind of gritty war movie. It's like, what is it like for the people to be in the mud, in the dirt, fighting, to get the Death Star plans, right? What is it
Yeah.
like for those people? And I think the reason that I like this movie more than you guys do is because I think that's a really cool story, and I think it's worth telling. And that's why I think you guys like Solo a little bit more than I do, is because I think Solo's a great movie. I think it's fun, it's entertaining, it's great, but I just don't see. I think Solo is a better character left mysterious, or if you could make a better movie about it, right? I think that we can agree Rogue One is the better movie. If you're basing it off of whether it's relevant or not, we can have a discussion. But Rogue One is the better movie just by itself, right? Over Solo?
I don't know. Over Solo?
Yeah.
But Solo had it literally showed them beating the record in the 12 parsecs.
Yeah, it had. Yeah, I see that as pointless, and you guys don't. So that's where we differ. I think we can agree to disagree there. I think Rogue One's relevant.
It just had
You guys
so many
don't.
moments in Han Solo's history that are just I don't know. You just want to see those because you've always heard about them.
Right.
And
I think
and it also explains his character so much for and then you understand his backstory and why he makes choices he makes.
Well,
I don't know.
I think that's one of the reasons. Well, that's one of the reasons I don't. My main issues with the movie is because it transports Han Solo as the good guy at the end of Solo, and not the character that he is at the beginning of A New Hope.
Right.
Anyway.
Well, yeah, we talked about that.
We
you're
talked
right.
about that, yeah. But anyway, let's move on. I want to get your guys' thoughts.
Also,
of-
where was Han Solo during Rogue One? They should have thrown him in there. That's what I didn't like about Rogue One. Here, Tanner helped me realize this a second ago. I didn't like how they could have had characters that we already knew getting the plans, and it would have made no difference.
Yes,
why
it was.
couldn't Princess Leia get the plans?
Everything
Well,
was
she
a
did.
stretch. They had to bring in all of these new characters that we've heard nothing
That's what
about.
it is. Why'd they bring in new characters?
They brought.
Why'd they bring in new characters for Solo, Matthew?
Because that's his backstory.
Exactly. That's the backstory of the Death Star plans. They
Okay,
need
whoa,
new
whoa,
people.
whoa. Let's
No,
let's go
no,
back
no.
for a second. To Solo, all of his backstory, all of those people have been referenced in the other movies. Those people have been referenced. Now,
besides Lando, no, they haven't.
I mean, they've been referenced more than. I mean, those stories have. And therefore those people have been referenced more than the Death Star plans by far.
Okay, that was a stretch right there.
No, the stretch was Rogue One.
This is the difference. With Solo, we saw in the movies when he met all of those new people, Leia, Luke, everyone. We saw when he met them, so he couldn't have met them before. That's why they had to have different people in his backstory. In the Rogue One,
but Matthew, we know
the first time we saw when A New Hope opens, when it first turns on, all you see is Princess Leia holding the plans, giving it to R2D2. So she could have been the one who gets it. Like, it could have been her and other rebel people that we know getting it, but instead it was like
but they had
a bunch of random people that had to die. That's when they tied their hands behind their back. Is when they chose to do new people.
Well, think about it, Matthew. Who do you want in there besides Princess Leia?
I don't know, like
bring in Fish Lips.
Who?
Fish Lips. That's all I can think about him. Whatever the guy is that always takes care of all those big ships.
Oh, Admiral Akbar?
Yes. I can never remember his names. I always remember as Admiral Fish Lips.
Well, so what I think
Yes.
I think it's really interesting. Like I said, I think that it asks a lot of interesting questions and tells a good story. Okay? I think that it asks, like I said, what would it be like for those people? And that it tells a good story about how they got them. And it does include characters like Bail Organa, Mon Mothma, and I like it so much because they threw in...
Wait, when is Bail Organa in there?
At the council, when they were meeting Jyn Erso, then Mon Mothma...
Oh, you're right.
So,
You're
like, we
right,
have a
yeah.
little bit of those people. We see C-3PO and R2-D2. We see
Yes.
them. Like, I really like that. I wish Solo could have included them somehow. But
That would have been crazy.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
But
Uh-huh.
you know, we see those people, and then we get introduced to a bunch of new characters who we get emotionally invested in, and then when they die, some people don't like it because all the people die. Well, I'm like, your point is? Like, I think it's great. I think that the reason you don't like it is the reason you like it. Because you were so emotionally invested in these characters that when they died, you felt really sad when they died. So I think that essentially, like none of us have cried in a Star Wars movie ever, right? In a movie. But if you were to cry in a Star Wars movie, Rogue One would be one of the ones to do it in.
Whoa.
Anyway.
I almost cried in 9 at the very end.
Yeah.
So
I
your
know.
I just said
argument,
once.
your argument is it's a good movie because if you were to cry in a Star Wars movie, it would make you cry. That's your argument.
One of the arguments. I was saying you get
Okay.
emotionally invested in the characters. Like when what is his name? Tobias Beckett dies. I mean, you're like, whatever. You don't feel anything. I don't know what you're supposed to feel, but you don't feel
because
any.
he's a bad guy.
But like they try to make it like I never will learn to play the harpsichord or whatever, the Valacord or whatever, right? They try to make it a little sad and doesn't work. Anyway, let's move on from this. We can talk about this later. So I want to get you guys' thoughts on the first time you saw this movie in the theater. What were your thoughts? What do you remember feeling?
I thought it was a good movie.
As we
Man,
do about
I
every
still
single
do
Star
think it
Wars
is.
movie.
Right.
We thought Last Jedi
Well,
was a good Star Wars movie.
Well, I totally just sounded like Isaiah there.
Yeah, it's true.
It was a good movie. That he used to always say that. He would watch any movie,
That's right.
including
Frozen.
but not limited to My Little Pony. It was a good movie.
Yeah, it's true. That's what I used to say.
Anyways, but no, yeah, I liked it, and I always liked the tie-ins to the Clone Wars and other Star Wars movies and stuff. And there was a couple in here, but I really didn't like the like blind guy thing. I kind of liked the guy who protected him with the gun. He was just kind of like a man who like didn't have to, but he was just protecting him just because he could, and he had like a big machine guns, and he just carried around a tank on his back the whole movie. I was like, that's kind of cool, but. Yeah, and then, okay, honestly, I didn't really like the whole little, like, flirty, like, love side story with Jyn Erso and the other dude.
Yeah,
Which made, like,
the French
no
dude or
sense.
whoever.
Cassian Andor. He's not French.
Well, he talks weird.
He looks French, if you're going to be 100% honest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But no, I
Tanner?
didn't like that either. I thought, like, about the flirtiness, that was just, like, random and weird and unforeseeable and shouldn't have happened. I feel like the first thing that I thought when I watched that movie was this is a great backstory. This is before Solo came out. You're welcome. But first thing that popped into my mind as we walked out of the theater was that was a good backstory. After rewatching it, it like recently, it kind of doesn't hold that same kind of grip on me that it did originally. I think originally it kind of had something on me because I thought, they might do something with something out of here, but we are now at the end of the saga. Well, end of the saga with quotation marks. And they did nothing with it.
Yeah. So what I remember in the theater was kind of like what I already said. Like, it was actually like gritty and pretty violent for a Star Wars movie. Then I remember really liking it, though. I remember thinking how it was sad that all the people died. I think that's what I was thinking.
You know, a scene that I do like the filming, I guess.
Yes,
even
exactly.
though I'm sure a
That's
lot
what
of it is like animation and stuff.
No, that's what I was gonna
but-
say. That's one of the reasons I love this movie so much. It's so well shot.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely very well shot, and that scene with like it points up in the sky and the Death Star just like comes
Yes,
out, and
that's-
it's like
it's so
that
good.
is majestic.
Yes.
And it's like I got a poster with that actually because I had it in my room for a while.
That's right. I
It's
remember that
actually it's a cool picture.
Yeah.
And then there's also like the ones when off in the distance you hear the AT-ATs, and if you're a big Star Wars nerd, you're like, those are AT-ATs, and then they come out of the forest and like shoot everybody up, and you're like, yes. Oh wait, no, they're the bad guys. I'm not going.
Yeah,
for
I
them
know
with that.
exactly. That movie does that so many times. It's like the Darth Vader hallway scene. I was watching it literally today, and I was like, "Oh, dude, this is so awesome!" But I feel so bad for those people. But go Darth Vader, you know?
Yeah.
Like I really,
Yeah,
I felt
and-
really
okay,
bad for those
yeah,
people.
they
but
did
Darth
have-
Vader was a great scene.
They did have Darth Vader in here a little bit. I was appreciative, although he was a little bit. I don't know. He seemed kind of weird in this movie.
He seemed more diplomatic.
Yeah, I was like, that is not what Darth Vader's
I mean,
about. Darth Vader's about
Here's the
force
thing.
choking people.
He was
And
kind
he
of
also
still
made
in.
dad jokes.
He did. He was kind of still in Anakin mode, I guess. He wasn't really thinking about the rebellion. Like, if we're thinking plot-wise.
Anakin was never diplomatic, though.
No, never. I guess Darth Vader had to kind of learn a new side of that with the Empire, but I don't know.
And then it disappeared
Anyway,
again, and then he's like,
Let's get into our
lightsabers
opening-
fix
Let's get
everything.
into our opening thoughts. We had a big debate, but we're now like 17 minutes in, and we haven't had a actual opening thoughts thing. So let me go ahead. I like this movie a lot because, like Matthew said, it is extremely well shot. I think it's the best shot Star Wars movie. There are just so many cool shots. So the director for this, Gareth Edwards, he was apparently like the visual effects leader of Lucasfilm or whatever. So he knows how to use special effects. And there are just so many cool shots of just like with them looking up at Jeddah, then the Star Destroyer is over that, and it gives you just a kind of tangible way to see how big those are. Like Matthew said, the shots with the Death Star coming up. I think it did a really unique way of showing the Death Star flipped upside down.
Yes.
But it wouldn't. But the thing is, like, it wouldn't be flipped upside down for the people on the Death Star, yet it would be for the people on the planet. So anyway, really cool idea. And you get like so many shots of looking down onto the planet, like right above the atmosphere of the planet, and you can see like the outline of everything. And then there's a shot where it like destroys the city and the flames go up into space. Like really, really cool stuff. And then also I was watching it, and I was like, I found myself like really enjoying myself. Like, this is a good movie. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a good Star Wars movie. It's a good movie because I was like, the dialogue is passable, the characters you get actually invested in, and it actually has a story to it. You know, it doesn't rely on nostalgia and all that stuff like the sequels did.
Okay, I will stand behind that statement that this is a good movie. This is not a great Star Wars movie. This is a good movie. I'll stand behind Cooper's statement with that. So
Also, real quick, Tanner, I want to say one thing. I think that without a New Hope, this movie is essentially worthless. Like, there's no reason to even
To get the plans?
Yeah, exactly. Like, A New Hope makes this movie better. Because without A New Hope, there would be no reason for this movie
But
at all.
I think A New Hope is better, though. Because I just, I agree, it's a great movie, and it's really well shot, and, the dialogue, you said it was passable, sure, yeah, it's passable, it's not great. But
it's better than any other Star Wars movie, pretty much. Besides maybe Solo.
Sure, but, you know what, I'm not going to argue, but, it's just, if you want it to be all Star Wars and, characters and, that's what you like about Star Wars, is the nostalgia.
100%.
And this doesn't really have it.
That's true. I think that, I guess it's kind of a shock to people to where this movie seems almost anti-Star Wars in a way. Like, think about the prequels. The prequels relied on their dialogue to be, nerdy. Like, throw in a bunch of Jedi language in there and people, really, ignore the fact that it's actually really bad. This movie, really ignores all of that lofty language. It doesn't really deal much with lightsabers and all the other Star Wars stuff. It just gets down to the people who were fighting, who did some bad, dirty things, for the rebellion, and just sees them in the dirt fighting for the Death Star plans.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tanner, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, that's my entire thought.
Okay. Matthew?
See, you reminded me, talking about the Death Star, I thought of a couple of those little clips from the How It Should Have Ended. I know I like to bring these in here, but they're kind of funny. And so one of them was like when the Death Star, like there's a commander talking to the operator on the Death Star, and he's like, "Commander, sir, we're about like 9 minutes away. We'll be there soon to turn around on the planet and destroy them." And he's like, "Don't we have light speed on this thing? Just zap over to the other side of the planet." And then it just like, he's like, "Oh yeah, sir."
That was from A
zaps
New
over to
Hope.
the other side of the planet.
Yeah.
And then Princess Leia's like, "Oh crap."
Yeah, that was from like A New Hope. That was a good one, yeah.
And then the other one was, so they built like, this was in between, while they were building the new Death Star, right? Like on number 6. And the Emperor walks up to like a random stormtrooper and he's like, "You remember how last time they shot in that little exhaust pipe and blew up the whole planet? We did not design this new one with one of those, did we?" And he's like, "No, sir." And they stand there for like 5 seconds. He's like, "Actually, sir, we designed this with a bigger exhaust port that a whole ship can fit in. Big enough for the Millennium Falcon."
Yeah.
I'm like, that is so true. Idiots.
Yeah, and what Matthew is referencing is a YouTube channel called How It Should Have Ended, or Hishe, Hishe, where they make fun of movies with plot holes and
With
stuff
all the
like
plot
that.
holes.
Yeah.
They also do a lot that are not very funny because they don't have plot holes, but they try to make fun of it.
Yeah.
But a lot of the Star Wars ones, they point out the plot holes, and it's kind of funny.
Also, viewer discretion is advised.
100% behind that.
Yeah. Anyway, they're normally clean. So, also, I want to talk about a few things before we get into really the details. So, this movie was not scored by John Williams. Did you guys realize that?
Yes, and that's what I did not like at the beginning, the opening credits, when they blared like that random, like almost Star Wars music, but it was
Well, yeah, I
different.
actually really like
I
that
was like-
music. It was kind of differing a little bit, but it was kind of like the Rogue One main theme. I heard it several times throughout the movie.
Nope, I don't like it. Nope.
Okay,
Nope,
well,
nope,
whatever.
nope.
I think he did a fine job scoring it. I think you guys just don't like it because it's not John Williams. But
No, it's just that they changed the original. It doesn't have to be John Williams. Just play the original music.
so, do you think that
And-
because it was like separate from the saga, they had to do that, or do you think they should have just gone with a normal intro?
Gone with the normal.
Yeah.
100%. But also, I don't think they did a bad job because they kind of like cut different parts at different points of like other Star Wars songs and threw them in. Especially like I'm pretty sure they put the Imperial March in
for
there.
Sure, yeah.
But I do remember there being a couple good, like, I think when they were on that farm planet right at the beginning with like young Jen and her parents.
Yeah.
I think there was a couple like good themes there or something.
No, he did a fine job. He's not John Williams, but he did a great job. Besides that,
Yeah. Who was it?
I don't know, some guy I'd never heard of before. Anyway, one other thing I have to say, kind of going off of that, I actually liked the intro better than Solo. I understood they weren't gonna do a typical Star Wars intro, and I was like, whatever.
I was
But-
expecting them to, so that's why I was bummed.
Well, Solo did it like really bad. They did like a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Then they did like the blue lettering, and I was like, I was disgusted with it. I don't think I said this on the Solo episode, but I was like, why? Why are you doing this to me? Like, this is painful. Like, you're
I don't remember that.
yeah.
I
like,
knew they
at the-
didn't do the main theme.
Right
though.
at the beginning of Solo, though, they did a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Then they do like the blue lettering. They do like it's a foul time, Lady Proxima, all this stuff. Like doing this
Ugh.
stuff, they normally do the title crawl but in the blue lettering. And I was like,
Yeah.
no, this is not how you do it. So I was like, either don't have a title crawl like Rogue One did, or you just do the title crawl. And so
Yeah.
I just like this one over Solo because it did a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Then it opened, and then it got to Rogue One: A Star Wars Story after like the first scene. And also, it's another thing
I
I
wish
don't like
they-
about Solo was they opened like right away with the action. They didn't like pan over, the planet like we normally do.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's talk about. We're 25 minutes in, and we're just now talking about anyway. So, let's we don't have a lot of time, so let's briefly talk about the characters, the fighting, and then we can be done. So you guys really didn't like the characters. You guys wish they had brought in some new, or so the old people.
Familiar,
Right.
yeah.
So, was there any reason for that, or did you not like the new characters, or did you just want them to bring in the old characters that you like?
Kind of both. I didn't mind Jen she because they like you said, you kind of got emotionally attached, I guess, and then but the whatever not French guy, as you
Cassian
say,
Andor.
the guy with the mustache. I wasn't a big fan of him. He was kind of cool a little bit, but he was like trying to be a Han Solo, and no other Star Wars character besides like Poe Dameron has ever done a good job of replacing
Right,
Han
and
Solo.
then I'm so mad because The Last Jedi wrecked the Han Solo and Poe Dameron, and I'm mad about that.
Yeah, I know, I agree. But no, we're not talking about that. But he tried to be like Han Solo, but like Han Solo was still existing in another part of the galaxy at that point, and I was like, you can't be him, just stop. But I did appreciate that one part when he like just killed the guy because the guy was annoying him.
What the heck? No.
Like at the beginning, he's like, just climb up on that fence, and then he shoots him.
Well, so I think what they were trying to do is kind of
It
be
just
like
simplified things.
kind of be like the Black Widow of Star Wars. Kind of like, I've done bad things. I've got rid of my ledger. I need to clean it up. Kind of like that.
I think it was a little different. I think for him it was more like, I've already screwed up my life, so I'm just gonna try to do right the rest of my life because I'm not gonna have that long anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Which he was right about that. He didn't have very long.
So your thoughts on the characters, then we can get into some more deep thoughts on them.
Yeah, this is so stupid because I hate having to agree with people and not having anything else to say or rephrase it, but Matthew summed up my thoughts perfectly. It was kind of both for me, and I feel like yes, the Cassian trying to be the Han Solo was like the deal breaker for me on all of the characters. So I feel like all the characters were trying to replicate someone in Star Wars, and they failed at it because of them trying to mix it up so we wouldn't recognize that it's like the same character type thing.
Yeah.
And it's not even like, I don't even wish the main characters were necessarily like people that I was familiar with, but like just supporting characters in the movie, like when they go different places. Like, why couldn't we see Han Solo at one point? That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. I never thought of Cassian as Han Solo, and so I guess I wasn't as disappointed in him as you were. But I totally get why you would think that and why you're disappointed in him. But I think they're fine. My only problem with Jyn Erso is the fact that they rely on that message that her father gave Saw Gerrera to do a whole lot of character developmental work. Like, they literally do a 180 on her just on that message. And I don't know if that's convincing enough for me to conceivably, I guess, comprehend the real character doing something like that. That's my only caveat.
Doing what?
Doing a complete 180 on her ideas about the rebellion after she saw the message from her father.
Oh, yeah.
That's my only thing. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, because I feel like she would still just, like, her whole purpose the whole time was kind of just to free her father, or, like, save her father.
Yeah.
And then when she sees the message from her father, all of a sudden that doesn't become the sole purpose, and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Because
that
wouldn't
was
that
another,
make it even more?
That was another how it should have ended. Saw Gerrera's like, hey, don't forget your message. Oh, yeah. Let me grab that real fast. And then they fly away and, blow up the star.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, why would you just leave it?
Yeah, I kind of noticed they were doing that too. But anyway, then let's talk about the Guardians of the Wills. What is that? Chirrut and Baze. So I think that Matthew's like one of the only people who didn't like Chirrut, the fake Jedi guy. Everybody else seemed to kind of think he was pretty dang awesome.
Best character in the movie.
Isaiah's gonna get mad at me if I don't say this. I like the part where he like turns his staff into a gun.
No, he has a separate gun.
Oh, it's separate?
Yeah, but it has like a crossbow, so he like unfolded him. But yeah, he like breathed into his hand,
good,
and then shot it blind.
Yeah, well, okay, I like. Yeah, I was gonna say I like the part with the crossbow. I did think it was his staff, so I was like, why are you not using that more than the one time? But if it's a different thing, that's fine. But yeah, Isaiah really likes that part and thinks the guy's epic just for that one scene.
Yeah,
I think the scene's epic. I don't think the guy's epic.
I remember seeing it in the theater, and then the joke where they put the hood over him, and he goes, "Are you kidding me? I am blind."
Yes,
like the whole audience laughed at that.
I like that. I do like that. And I think didn't I watch it with you?
No, you weren't there.
In Rogue One, I will give Rogue One this. They have very, very, very witty dialogue. Like the entire movie.
Right, it's because they finally realized that people like funny movies.
Yeah, that's
even
right.
in action movies.
And The Last Jedi failed at it, but we'll talk about that. But they realized that, yes. So actually, I heard somewhere that I'm pretty sure that the actor for Chirrut made that up. Like when they put the hood over him.
Did he really?
Yes, I'm pretty sure he made it up on the like a.
Okay, then I have respect for the actor,
Yeah.
but still, I don't like the character because if you're gonna be a Jedi, then be a real Jedi. Don't be like one of those. Not one of those. Like, don't be a half like weird Jedi guy who thinks he's a Jedi, but nobody else believes him, and then all of a sudden gets the Force and then dies when he has the Force. Like, that's just the lamest way to go.
Well,
if you finally prove you have the Force, like, why are you gonna get blown up by a bomb?
Well, I think that he's one of those people who, like, believes in the Force, but isn't, I guess, the midi-chlorian count or whatever is like really low on him or something like that. So he was kind of those people
Right,
like Moss
stop
who knows
saying
the Force.
Force is with me.
Well,
He kept
because
saying I'm one with the Force. And the Force
because
is with
he's
me. If you
trying to
got
become
low-
closer to the Force. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, but then that's turning the Force into like some almost person that you have a relationship with, and it's like weird.
Yeah,
That's what I didn't like about him.
it is weird. But I remember, oh gosh, I don't know why I just remember this. We were playing tag with in your front yard, Matthew, and it was me,
Oh,
Tanner, and Matthew, and then all our siblings. And every time we're about to get tagged, we would just yell, "I am one with the Force," and the Force is with me, and run
remember
away.
that was
like,
Tucker.
We kept doing it over and over again.
That was Tucker that started that.
Yes, it's Tucker, but we kept doing
What
it.
are the odds that that it's us three that are on here right now? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. But anyway, yeah, that was a good time. That was fun.
Yeah.
But besides that annoying saying that I completely hate now, I liked him. I liked his end. I know you guys didn't like it. I liked the ending for him. Just kind of him like I'm with the Force with me. That was a really cool shot.
If you have the stinking Force, then don't get blown up by a stinking bomb.
Well, Matthew, even Jedi die.
Not by bombs, by other Jedis.
He got shot. They shot the console thing and it blew up. Anyway,
Use
but-
the dadgum Force.
what was I gonna say? Oh, also another great shot was when he was fighting the stormtroopers in Jeddah, and then he's
Okay,
blind.
true. Yeah, you're right. And then he
so
just
it's-
like
no, no.
turns around, smacks them both.
Right. But like he's listening. Like you see a close up of the stormtroopers like raising their guns and their feet, and then him just like cocking his head and listening. And it was really cool.
Yeah.
And then he like goes beast mode. Yeah, so that was really cool. Let's talk about Krennic a little bit. So first of all, I forget the actor's name here. I have to look him up real fast because like this guy is a beast.
All right.
I got confused between him and Commander Hoax or whatever his name is.
Hux.
Yeah.
I actually like this guy better than Hux.
Oh, I do too, for sure. Because Hux just got really stupid at the end.
Yeah, we'll talk about that for sure. Ben
I like this guy
Mendelsohn.
better. But what?
Ben Mendelsohn.
Nice.
Yeah, but he's a good actor. I like him like in this. He's just a
Okay.
perfect like Empire guy. He talks with kind of a lisp. We stand
Yeah.
against my achievement or something like that,
Yeah, but he also kind of looks like a field guy more than a
He looks like
just
somebody in a
commanding
Christopher-
officer with gelled hair on a ship.
He looks like somebody in a Christopher Nolan movie. He's wearing like a camo or something and a machine gun. Yeah, I agree. But
Sure.
I think he's just a typical villain. But he's not so concerned with like blowing up people. He's just concerned with achievement. Like he wants to be, the guy who built the freaking Death Star. That's what he wants to be known as. And that's why he and Moff Tarkin don't like each other.
And that's
Also,
why
he's like, I built it, and he's like, nope, you're fired.
Yeah, exactly.
and that is why
Right.
he wears this beautiful white cloak that like nobody else has ever
Yeah.
seen
Yeah,
on like a
That
bad guy.
that scene at the beginning was pretty hot. He gets out of his like crazy awesome looking
Yes.
ship.
That was
with
another
his
how it
death
should have ended.
troopers.
Fly closer.
Yeah.
Yes. But you gotta appreciate this style though. Like, come on, man. Like, pretty awesome. Like, if I had a legion of black troopers and I was wearing a white cape, heck yeah, I would do that. Also,
Yeah.
when you talk about Princess Leia and Moff Tarkin coming back as CGI characters, or their faces, I guess. Like, I remember
Don't pause it. That's all. I'll
Yeah.
say.
I remember seeing it in the theater though and being like, wow. Like, they did
How'd
a
they
great
do it so
job.
good?
Exactly. Like, I literally thought, like, Princess Leia a little less so, but Moff Tarkin, I was literally like, this is pretty spot on.
Yeah.
And then we all
Yeah.
looked to Luke Skywalker and the Mandalorian and we're like,
Well,
seriously, guys?
This is Yeah, this is better than the Luke Skywalker.
I know the
think,
Luke
this CGI.
Skywalker was like trash.
Yeah,
What are you talking about?
he didn't look that good in the Mandalorian.
Wait, Luke's in the Mandalorian?
Oh, you haven't finished.
You
have
haven't
you?
finished
Oh, gosh,
it.
you
I haven't
spoiled
watched the
it.
second.
Oh,
What?
my God.
What?
Okay, well, it's at the very last episode you see Luke Skywalker's face. Yeah,
Oh, that's it.
yeah.
Oh.
But like he has,
Still not
it's an epic moment.
incentivized to watch it.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's whatever. It's what it is. It is what it is.
Got it.
All right, we're at
36 minutes.
Yeah, we're pretty much out of time. So real quick, let's talk about the fighting. Then closing thoughts, donor shoutouts. We're out of here. So the fighting on this movie, I think, is pretty sweet. It's gritty. It's on the ground. It's a lot of hand to hand laser combat, and not so much like in white corridors shooting lasers. I guess I don't know.
Sure.
Not much else to say about that. All right. Let me give my closing thoughts real fast, and if you guys have any, go ahead and jump in. So, again, like I said, I think the reason that so many people as in you guys, don't like this movie, is you wanted to see a Star Wars movie, and this was not really a Star Wars movie for you guys. It was more of a kind of a war movie told within the lens of Star Wars, right? And I think that so many people who don't like Star Wars could watch this and like it, except for the fact they don't know why it's important, which is why I need to watch New Hope. But I think it's a really well shot movie. Really, characters are. I love all the characters. I know you guys don't, but I do. Nice special effects. Just a great story, great dialogue, and it's a good movie. Like Tanner's saying, it may not be, in his opinion, a great Star Wars movie, but it's a good movie, and I had fun watching it. And if I ever think about this, guys, if you ever wanted just to sit down and watch a Star Wars movie for fun, Rogue One would be up there. I'm not saying it would be one of the top ones, but I'm saying it would be up there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you didn't want to watch, if you're going to watch a Star Wars movie by itself, then you kind of have to watch, the other two of that trilogy,
Yeah, it's true.
Like, if you're going to watch 9, you have to watch 7 and 8 first. Or if you're going to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, yeah, you could watch this one by itself.
Especially if you're coming just on Friday night, you're going to turn on Rogue One, Solo, Revenge of the Sith, one of those movies, right? Just because they're fun and fresh and stuff like that. Sorry. All right.
But no, I agree with you. It's a good movie, but I think you're right about why I didn't like it. It's just because, I wanted more Star Wars.
Yeah.
Or I was expecting more Star Wars.
Yeah, and I'm totally fine with that. I mean, that's you. This is me.
If they had kind of advertised it as, not a big part of the Star Wars story, as just a side story taking place in the Star Wars world, then I guess I would have been more on board.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, I guess we never talked about this, but I'll say it real quick. We kind of talked about it in Solo. The droid,
oh yes,
K2SO,
gosh, I'm sorry.
way funnier in here
Yes.
than the other stupid droid.
I remember, when he
Solo.
died in the theater, I got closer to crying than I have in a movie. Okay, I love K2SO besides C-3PO and R2-D2, the best droid in Star Wars. Okay,
Sir.
the best droid.
There's a problem on the
Unquestionably.
horizon. There is no horizon.
Yeah, exactly. You know
That
the
part when,
odds of her using that against us? They're high. Very high. Yes. It's so good.
Never tell me the odds.
Yes. All right, guys. Any final thoughts before we do our shoutouts?
Nope.
Alrighty. Let me pull up the donor shoutouts.
You can't remember them?
No, I mean I can, but I just like to have it in front of me.
The precious.
What should we call this list? The Vader's Fist. We'll call it that. The Vader's Fist list. Yeah.
Okay.
The
Vader's Fist.
First on the Vader's Fist list, Mr. and Mrs. Ryatsky, Matthew. Just say a character.
The force choke move.
Nice.
I'm doing force moves.
Okay, that's cool. Tanner, Matthew's dad, Mr. Gillingsworth, Mr. Mark.
Let's go with K2SO.
Nice. Tanner, you got Nolan the Pony Killingsworth.
Yes. Darn it. Why did I use K2SO already? You get to be, what's the white cape guy?
Oh, Krennic. Nice,
Krennic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening to this. Probably one of our longer episodes. We really appreciate it. We'd also really appreciate it if you went to patreon.com/the screening. If you donate $5 or more, you get a donor shout out just like we did. If you can't, if you can't, go ahead and leave us a 5-star rating and review, and make sure to tell your friends to subscribe and to listen. Until next time,
this has been The Screening.